These actresses weren't just acting for one, but for two, and in some cases even three.
I'm pregnant.
But being pregnant can be a total nightmare when you're filming.
What kind of situation are you talking about, Tony?
Luckily, Hollywood can get really creative when trying to hide a baby bump.
I was pregnant at the time.
But what happens when their bump is a little too obvious? Well, maybe we should ask Wonder Woman to find the answer. As if playing Wonder Woman wasn't impressive enough, Gal Gadot depicted the Amazonian princess while she was 5 months pregnant, and that included a couple of fight scenes too. Can this woman get any more badass?
You at one point on set were
Pregnant?
Instead of hiding her bump, the studio cut a wide green triangle on her suit and replaced it with a green cloth for Gal to wear on her stomach.
Very funny. Weird and funny.
This was later edited in post-production, which is why no one realized she was super pregnant at the time.
Everybody knew you were pregnant.
But there's another actress who didn't need a stunt double either and was super sneaky about her pregnancy. Like Gal Gadot, Blake Lively also had to film while she was pregnant, even though the action scenes were pretty intense. In The Shallows, Blake played a surfer chick who has a terrifying encounter with a hungry great white shark. The stunning but very pregnant actress had to lay on a giant rock that was far, far away from the shore. As if that wasn't bad enough, Blake also had to face gigantic 4.5-foot waves. Scary, right?
Your body is just beat.
But a stunt double wasn't hired until the final 2 weeks of shooting. Thankfully, the actress who played Black Widow had a lot of extra help.
Are you kidding? I'm working.
Blake Lively may have not needed a lot of stunt doubles, but Scarlett Johansson needed 3 while playing Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, in Avengers Age of Ultron. Scarlett was really pregnant at the time, so the studio had to use 3 body doubles whenever her character was involved in highly demanding scenes. ScarJo's face was then digitally added to her stand-in's body and created some epic movie magic. In fact, ScarJo praised Heidi Moneymaker, one of her stunt doubles, for rolling with the punches when she wasn't able to. Her co-star Chris Evans had a blast running into a lot of fake Scarletts running around the set, but sitcom actresses also have to do anything to keep their baby bump under wraps.
I don't know. You have to tell me. What do you think?
Scarlett probably wishes she had been pregnant while working on a TV show, just like Lisa Kudrow was while she was shooting season 4 of Friends.
Nope, not knocked up yet.
But the actress who played Phoebe Buffay really lucked out. When she could no longer hide her baby bump, the show's writers made her character the surrogate mom for her crazy brother and wife's baby.
You guys, you're gonna have a baby. They're gonna have a baby.
That's a pretty bold move. Perhaps Kristen Bell should thank actresses like Lisa Kudrow for inspiring Hollywood to come up with all these tricks to hide their pregnancies.
No, I think there's more to this story.
During the second season of House of Lies, no one realized Kristen was expecting. In fact, fans of the show might even be shocked to learn that the actress was 7 months pregnant during a steamy love scene with Adam Brody.
We're thinking about...
Are you asking me for my baby?
Thankfully, producers used different camera angles, wardrobe hacks, and CGI to ensure no one would get a glimpse of Kristen's stomach. But some pregnancies are as much of a surprise for the actress as it is for the studio.
I just feel a little weird.
Kristen Bell may have given the producers a heads up, but Emily Blunt was pretty shocked when she realized she was pregnant the same week she got the gig of the baker's wife in the movie Into the Woods.
What was that?
The actress must have been too afraid to tell producers what was going on. After all, it was nothing but really bad timing. In the end, Emily decided to wait until the end of the first trimester to tell the director. Fortunately, she found a way to make it work. Her co-star Meryl Streep told D23 they were constantly putting James Corden the baker in front of her belly, raising her apron higher and higher. It was tricks like this one that allowed her to hide her bump like a boss.
But next time, bore someone else with your questions.
Now, you'd think Emily would never want to shoot a movie while being pregnant again, but as luck would have it, she got pregnant again during the production of The Girl on the Train. She kept her baby bump under wraps until she was 20 weeks along. The pregnancy made her really tired, which made it easier to play her character who has issues with alcohol.
I was really tired, so I became the queen of power naps.
But her co-star, Justin Theroux, was the first to learn the truth when he noticed she wasn't being herself during certain scenes, which was uncharacteristic of her. Eventually, she was forced to tell the director Tate Taylor the truth after he asked her why she wanted to be shot from behind during a bath scene. But hey, at least Emily wasn't replaced the way Helen McCrory was by Helena Bonham Carter. Harry Potter producers were in quite a pickle when Helen McCrory got pregnant. She was supposed to play Bellatrix Lestrange, aka Death Eater for the Order of the Phoenix movie, but she backed out and the role went to Helena instead. Thankfully, Helen was able to return to the film franchise as Draco's mother, Narcissa Malfoy, for the movie Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. But ironically, Helena got pregnant between the two films, hence why Bellatrix looked a bit pregnant herself in the first scene. And hey, her pregnancy might have complicated things, but at least it didn't halt production altogether. Harry Potter producers hired another actress to replace Helen McCrory, but Sarah Jessica Parker's pregnancy caused a major wreck on Sex and the City in 2002. Shortly after filming the new season, the actress felt sick. She later realized she was actually pregnant. This forced producers to stop production of this series until she was well enough to shoot. Luckily, other actresses could rely on their wardrobe to hide their bellies.
I told him I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant.
Reese Witherspoon was lucky she had to dress in a Victorian costume instead of strolling through the Big Apple in stilettos like Carrie. While filming the movie Vanity Fair, Reese discovered she was going to portray social climber Becky Sharp while she was 5 months pregnant. But doing a period piece ended up being a major win because director Mira Nair knew she could hide the actress's bump in very large dresses. Reese may have had a pulse during Vanity Fair, but Candice Accola didn't. Well, the Vampire Diaries actress did, but her vamp character Caroline certainly didn't, plus she couldn't get pregnant either. But the show's writers came up with a creative idea to bend the rules in their favor. When the character's former teacher Alaric Saltzman's pregnant bride had passed away, her twins were magically implanted into Caroline. That's pretty convenient, huh? This got Candice off the hook and prevented her from risking her pregnancy by doing dangerous stunts. But all the Disney magic in the world couldn't get this other actress from working while pregnant.
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun.
Perhaps Candice could have called Julie Andrews for help with babysitting her character's mystical kids, but the Mary Poppins actress was afraid that a spoonful of sugar wouldn't be enough to help producers swallow her pregnancy pill.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So, when Walt Disney met her during casting, she had no choice but to tell him she was having a baby in 6 short months. Thankfully, he was willing to wait for her, and it all worked out in the end. But can you imagine the scandal this would have caused if Julie didn't get the role?
Cheeky.
And speaking of scandals...
Why are you staring at me?
Kerry Washington, who played Olivia Pope on Scandal, probably wished she had a producer like the one Julie Andrews did.
What kind of situation are you talking about, Tony?
Unfortunately, the show had to go on, and she was quite a trooper through the whole ordeal. Pregnancy was forcing her to go through a major transformation, but she was forced to hide it because her character wasn't pregnant.
I was weak.
It just goes to show you that Kerry is willing to work through anything for a role.
I'm better than this.
Unlike Kerry, Julia Roberts had George Clooney tending to her needs while she was pregnant during Ocean's 12. And from that moment on, her co-stars pulled out her chair and would have even taken her to the hospital if she needed it.
He doesn't make me cry.
And speaking of hospitals, producers were really good at handling Kerry Washington's pregnancy because they had plenty of practice with Ellen Pompeo. During season 6 of Grey's Anatomy, the actress found out she was pregnant, so she was filmed from the shoulders up. As her due date approached, she was given 4 weeks off. To explain her character's disappearance, writers had her character Meredith donate a portion of her liver to her dad. Kate Winslet's character, Janine Matthews in Divergent, didn't have a storyline that explained her absence. So the movie's costume designers had to make a few adjustments to her wardrobe as time went on to hide her bump. But when clothing couldn't cover the obvious bump, she held a case or a file in her hand to hide the truth. While Kate Winslet had to hide her pregnancy, Cate Blanchett's baby bump became quite handy while shooting The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. In this film, she portrayed a pregnant British reporter named Jane Winslet Richardson. Initially, she had to wear a prosthetic belly, which was a grueling process that required her to stand for several hours. But as luck would have it, she didn't have to wear the fake bump very long as she was actually pregnant. Kate didn't waste any more time hiding her bump like a certain Pirates of the Caribbean actress. Penelope Cruz didn't need a prosthetic like Kate. While filming Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, the actress who played Blackbeard's daughter, Angelica, learned she was pregnant. But luckily for her, she was able to shoot most of her scenes. When things got a little too dangerous, movie director Rob Marshall came up with the perfect solution. Although Penelope doesn't have a twin, her sister Monica Cruz, who is also an actress, looked a lot like her. So as the studio got closer to finishing the film, Monica stepped in to give her sister a hand. Dealing with Penelope Cruz's sword-wielding character is one thing, but how do you keep an expecting actress who's playing a mutant from showing? That's the question that Halle Berry had to tackle while shooting X-Men: Days of Future Past. She was 3 months pregnant, but her character Storm obviously wasn't. The studio realized that they only had a short window here, so the actress was a total trooper and filmed all of her scenes in a whopping 2 weeks. No one could tell she was pregnant when the film hit theaters, but making that happen was no joke. Rushing to shoot a movie was undoubtedly intense for Halle, so she might be a little pissed to learn that How I Met Your Mother writers turned Alyson Hannigan's pregnancy into a joke. During the 4th season, the actress was carrying twins, so it was impossible to hide it, obviously. One of the co-creators thought it'd be funny to actually own up to what was going on. They had the actress using all sorts of insane objects to hide her baby bump. Then they all had a laugh by making her character Lily enter an eating contest. And then out of the blue, she proudly showed her bump and everyone at the restaurant pointed, laughed, and clapped.
It's a girl?
Oh.
Did you realize any of these actresses were pregnant while shooting for film and television? Let us know in the comments if you actually realized they were pregnant. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco for more crazy fun vids.